incidentally appear to contradict the stand taken by the party when global investor George Soros made a similar charge recently. The grand old party had then claimed reviving democracy is the opposition's job and not any outsider's. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's raise the big questions then on our talking point tonight. The attack of Rahul Gandhi on the Modi government, is it equal to an attack on India? Does being on foreign soil make any difference to the comments you make? Is Rahul Gandhi simply a punching bag for the Modi government and the BJP? Has Rahul Gandhi made a political blunder with some of his remarks? Those are some of the comments that some of the questions we'll raise. Joining me now is Pawan Verma. He's been diplomat and former MP and therefore hopefully will give us both those perspectives. Syed Zafar Islam is BJP's evergreen spokesperson. Syed Nasir Hussain is Congress MP and spokesperson. And Rahul Srivastav is our National Affairs Editor. I appreciate all of you joining us. Let's start with you, Pawan Verma, first, because you can maybe put it in some context. Rahul Gandhi goes to the United Kingdom, Cambridge University, diaspora, British Parliament, has a sort of running theme that democracy is under threat in India. The BJP is saying that Rahul Gandhi, by speaking in this language, is effectively denigrating India on foreign soil. Your response?
Thank you, Rajdeep. Rajdeep, my own view is as follows. First of all, let's disabuse of ourselves of the notion that what happens in India is unknown to people and audiences abroad. India today as an emerging power is like a fish in a glass bowl. And with the kind of instant media intrusiveness, what happens in India cannot be hidden. But when a leading politician washes the internal dirty linen of Indian politics abroad, my personal view is that a certain nuance and sophistication is required. If I were Rahul Gandhi, and I am not, and I am no one to advise him, I would have begun by saying that there are different narratives in India. And in a democracy, they often compete. And secondly said that I am fully confident that we in India can resolve these differences within the democratic framework of our country, as we have done in the past, for instance, after the emergency. Thirdly, I think for a foreign audience, he should have, as one of the most important leaders in the country, reiterated his faith in the people of India and their ability to once again bring sanity and balance in our politics. I mean, he is speaking on behalf of the country also. Fourthly, I would have said, I would have used this opportunity to present his vision of India, what the Congress believes in, what it believed during the freedom movement, what inspired it to follow certain values, what is enshrined in the Constitution. And then, because we are not, after all, a banana republic, he could have said that as a politician, political leader, he sees a threat to it and is willing to, within our democratic system, fight it, as he just did recently with a nationwide Bharat Jodo Yatra.
So you're saying, let me quickly summarize what you're saying.
Without using language.
You're saying rather than making sweeping statements about democracy being under threat, you would have preferred a more nuanced argument. You would have preferred Rahul Gandhi laying his vision of an alternate India. Am I correct?
Yes, there, and I just end by saying 20 seconds. You see, when you say that democracy is destroyed in India, when you say to a foreign audience that the current Prime Minister is blowing the country into smithereens, I'm quoting Rahul Gandhi, when you say that institutions are being allegedly finished, including the judiciary, I think the kind of extremism in language and the black and white polarities that are being painted out could have been put in a better way.
Okay. I think you make a point, a very compelling argument with Syed Nasir Hussain. You need to respond to, because what the argument which is being made, and remember, Pawan Verma is not someone who's a friend of the BJP, at least not yet. You know, he also is seemingly suggesting, do not take extreme positions. So when a Rahul Gandhi goes to England and says Indian democracy is, there is a attack on the basic structure of Indian democracy, he is essentially virtually rubbishing all the institutions that exist in this country. Do you believe that's an extreme position and therefore he needed to be a little bit more nuanced? The nuance was missing.
Rajdeep, I think first we need to understand that now we are a global world. Whether we speak in India or we speak abroad, whether we speak here or we speak in US or England, I think every news, every information travels in seconds to the different parts of the world. So that doesn't matter what you speak where. What is more important is the content. I can, Mr. Pawan Verma, I respect him a lot. He may have a view that Mr. Rahul Gandhi could have been more nuanced, could have been more, diplomatic in taking up this issue, or maybe he could have.
More specific. You see, more specific. Rahul Gandhi could have been more. When you say democracy is being destroyed in this country, give specific examples so that the audience then says, okay, you're making a strong, compelling argument.
If you look at the debate in the country and elsewhere in the world for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, Rajdeep, and I'm sure that you must have argued and debated on a number of occasions on the threats to democracy, the way centrally are being utilized, the way members of parliament are not being allowed by this government to take up the issues of the people of this country, the way they are being silenced, the way Indians, whether in some of the important places of our country, being silenced, funds to the tune of 20,000, 40,000 rupees being paid of people, students who want to sit on dharna. You have seen what happened with some of the journalists who were trying to take the government head on. So I don't want to get into the specifics now. The fact remains that it is a debate in the country, whether the government likes it or not.
So you're saying he is raising issues which are valid. The fact that he does it on UK soil should make no difference. Congress MP, I just asked my producer, Syed Nasir Hussain is Congress MP, not just spokesperson, but Zafar Islam, you want to respond to what you're hearing? That, look, Rahul Gandhi says much the same thing in India. He's saying it only to a Western audience. How does that change anything? And he has every right in that sense to speak out, and you cannot conflate an attack on the Modi government or government of India as an attack on India. If he believes that the Modi government is undermining institutions, how does that become an attack on India?
Rajdeep, the voice is not clear, but still whatever I heard, Nasir Hussain and when you spoke about it, and also Mr. Pawan Verma, let me tell you that, first of all, when people are talking about that democracy is in threat, then must know that India is the mother of all democracies. And it never was under threat. It can never be under threat because it's a very strong democracy and people have learned the democratic values are from India. The Western world is talking about democracy, but their democracy is only few hundred years old, while Indian democracy is several hundred years old, several thousand years old. So they have learned a lesson or two from here instead of giving a lesson of democracy to Indian government or Indian people. Unfortunately, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who doesn't understand the politics, and they have always been put ahead of other seasoned politicians within the Congress party to speak about subject which is totally unwarranted. Even like Mr. Pawan Verma said, that even if I have to criticize, I would have criticized in a very different manner. Unfortunately, he is talking about something what totally unwarranted. Like, for instance, he's talking about the Pegasus. The Supreme Court has cleared it. If at all, when the committee was formed, he could have been asked. He could have been asked. He could have. Everyone was asked. He could have given his telephone. He could have given his mobile for verification whether the Pegasus is there or the other software is there, which is talking about now. This only suggests that Mr. Rahul Gandhi, unfortunately, is talking about something which is totally unwarranted, and talking about something which is against the interests of India and also against the interests of his
No,
own party.
how does
Because
it, no, this is the
these
point,
issues
Zafar Islam, how
are
does
issues
speaking
which we
against,
discuss here.
how
If
is,
at
how
all
does
he
that
feels
become
very
against the
strongly
interests
about
of
it, we could
India?
have discussed
I
here.
can
But
understand,
he
you
is
can argue,
discussing about something
Zafar
which
Islam,
is
how does it
on
become
foreign land,
against the
and
interests of India,
he's
please?
damaging the interests of our nation. He's giving a very bad name to our nation. Of course, it will not impact India because the leadership is strong. People in different countries understand what is the current dispensation, and they all know that India is becoming strong, and these people have been out of power. That's why they are making this kind of noise, purely because they are not in power. Once they will be in power, they will speak a very different language.